The way would be his 20th NBA season. We now welcome in our NBA reporter, Dave McMenamin. Why do this now, Dave?
Well, Nicole, this is following the playbook that LeBron James and his representative, Rich Paul, implemented after winning the 2016 championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They wanted to show the loyalty and the commitment to staying in a program where they just won the ultimate prize. And so in that scenario, of course, he was going to be a free agent and signed a new deal. In this scenario, he's coming off the championship, already had a year guaranteed this year on his deal. This adds another guaranteed length of time that you'll see him in the purple and gold.
Okay, so it's 2 years, $85 million. But the big question going into this free agency period was not LeBron, it was Anthony Davis. So what does all of this mean for AD?
Well, certainly we've heard rumblings for weeks now that this would be the time where Anthony Davis would, look to sign his extension in order to have that new deal, to be a part of the Lakers, just like LeBron, with designs on repeating. And certainly I think this gives us a major clue as to what Anthony Davis's contract situation will look like. You're probably going to see something in the neighborhood for Anthony Davis of either 3 years guaranteed or 2 years with a player option to line him up with LeBron James, so they can both make mutual decisions come the 22-23 season about either staying with the Lakers or finding a new team to play for.
That's Dave McMenamin with the latest on the breaking news. Elle, is my math right? 153 plus 85 is 238 million.
Girl, you're asking someone who was in remedial math. I don't know. Sounds right? I don't.
Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers. I'm Chris McGee. Joining me, Laker insider Mike Bresnahan and writer for The Athletic, the Lakers beat writer, Bill Oram, in the holiday spirit. Bill, you've come so far. You must be proud. You are now our leadoff hitter. First show, season number 9.
Good job, Bill. Really proud of you.
I mean, don't I want to be the cleanup hitter?
No, lead off.
That's the metaphor.
Bill, think of where you were just a few years ago. You had to pay AJ to come on
the
our
9-hole.
Yeah.
True.
What are you drinking, Bill?
Oh, this is a little bit of nog with spiced with brandy.
Good man. And that's why he's the leadoff hitter for our shows.
Oh, God. That's why he leads off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into it because we got fun stuff to talk about.
Right.
We have jobs. We have a new season. This is exciting. According to Woj at ESPN, the Christmas Day slate of games are out, and it looks real nice. Pelicans with Zion and Brandon Ingram play Jimmy Butler in the Miami Heat. Perez in the early morning game. You're not even up yet.
No, sir.
Followed by the Warriors-Bucks. That's fun.
I
Celtics
might be up for that.
Versus KD, Kyrie, and the Brooklyn Nets. Then prime time, of course, your champion Lakers taking on Luka and the Mavs. They're going to wrap it up, a little revenge game for the Clippers, taking on the Nuggets. Remember when they were up 3-1? The Nuggets came back to win. So that's going to be fun. There it is. Awesome slate of games. We all heard it was going to be Warriors, guys, but it's Luka and the Mavs coming to town. Do you like it?
I do. I really do. I have to wonder if maybe the Clippers play the Lakers on opening night. That seems to be a pretty interesting matchup if that's what happens a few days earlier. But yeah, Warriors-Lakers would have made sense on Christmas. Of course, Clay getting injured kind of put a damper on that for sure. But some really good matchups. I mean, I'm really excited to see if the Bucks look good with their new point guard. But of course, this is the one that we'll be talking about a lot. We don't know if Kristaps Porzingis will be playing in this. That the Mavs kind of being a little hush-hush about his health status. But we do know that Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Schroeder, Montrez, and friends will all be up and ready for this one. Pretty excited.
And Bill, when LeBron James comes to the Lakers for the third straight year, you are primetime game on Christmas, my friend.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, we all know what LeBron and the Lakers now represent. I mean, it's the greatest player in the game and the most glamorous and right now the greatest team in the league. So it's a no-brainer to put him in that slot. And I like the matchup also. I'm with Brez. I was kind of anticipating Warriors. We've certainly seen Clippers there in the past. They played the Nuggets in the conference finals. But in terms of a sexy matchup and big-time stars, you've got the current face of the league in LeBron James, and then a guy who, really I think a lot of people have kind of circled as one of the next faces of the league, if not the next face of the league, a guy who plays the same way as LeBron, a pass first but can get his own too, a global appeal. I mean, that is a huge matchup and really appealing. And by the way, one of the best games of the year last year, early in the season in Dallas, Lakers beat the Mavericks in overtime. I mean, Luka's going off, LeBron's going off, Danny Green hits the corner three to force overtime. Dwight murders Seth Curry. There's a warrant out for him still. It was for that screen. It was a great game, and I think that there is some drama and intrigue in that matchup.
Bill on fire already. Lakers basketball 10 days away. Yes, you do. Mute him. Purple and Gold will play 4 preseason games. First 2 are at home against the Clippers, the 11th and 13th. Then they head to Phoenix, take on the Suns for 2 more games, December 16th and 18th. So what does LeBron James think about preseason being so close? He spoke about it exclusively with our own Allie Clifton and Richard Jefferson on the Road Trippin' podcast.
Preseason, I'm not quite worried about. I am rounding 36.
James Worthy is going to be really mad if he comes into the studio and has to talk about basketball without you.
Listen, big game, James. I love you. Hopefully see you in the studio. We're going to have a stogie together. We still need to have a championship stogie together for sure. Toast to this tequila. That's nor here nor there. We say that for the side. But don't worry about me in the preseason.
I'm not worried about you in basketball. I want to know, as an individual that pays attention to this stuff, like, how is it? Like, we watch now. It's like you see all these college football games getting canceled, postponed, and college basketball is like, we're ready to start. It's like, no, you're not. No one's starting.
College basketball has done what they needed to do. They just went, literally, they would send teams to an area for 10 days, and they'd get 3 straight games in.
Yeah.
So that they could, like, limit the travel time.
That's actually smart.
It is smart. It is smart. And it's very smart. So I'm very intrigued on seeing what's the protocol is going to be. There's been discussions, there's been talks. They wanted to make sure that we can get the season going, obviously for a lot of different reasons.
Money.
The biggest reason. But the safety of our players and the safety of our owners and the safety of our GMs and the safety of our coaches and training staff and things. That's more important than anything. It's 111. I always catch that. 1111 and 111. It's tattooed on my hand.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
Weirdo.
But
you still have the stop sign?
Yes, I got the stop sign.
Yeah, yes.
I'm still not stopping to drink.
But I'm very intrigued on seeing how they deal with this, because we all know that COVID is still very active.
It's actually,
and they actually told us that in the winter it's going to be more active than any time, and that's what we're in right now.
Yeah.
You know, either if you're seeing snow or not, this is the winter time, and it's picking up steam. So. I just want to see. I want to see how we tackle this.
Stick around. This is going to be awesome. After tonight's Access, brand new Road Trippin' podcast. LeBron James speaking for the very first time since the Lakers won the title less than 2 months ago. Part 1 of 2 premieres tonight at 8, right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. He was here for 2 hours, Brez. You got to have 2 parts.
That's spectacular.
LeBron spoke about the protocols, and we are already seeing delays to the start of training camp for the Warriors. Their GM Bob Myers announced that practice will be delayed 1 day from Sunday to Monday after 2 Warriors players tested positive for COVID-19. So the NBA knows that these issues would arise, no doubt. This time, no bubble. What do you foresee the first couple of months looking like, Brez?
Yeah, there's going to be some halt in some of these games. There's going to be some suspensions of games, some postponing, maybe some cancellations. This is the reason why the NBA said we're not going to release the entire 72-game schedule. We're going to do the first half of it, and then in a few months, we'll give you the second half of it. They're going to have to try to figure out if maybe we need to make up some games in the later months of the season. But it could be slow because, as LeBron said, it is winter. This is the tough time of the year for any flu season, and in particular, we're fighting COVID still, all of us. Bill?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with LeBron. I'm with Brez. I think that there's going to be a lot of disruption in this season. It just seems kind of inevitable with kind of the state of the world right now. I think we all feel like we are moving toward the other side of this with, some positive vaccine news. But the reality is, that's going to take time to roll out nationally and get fans back in arenas. And teams are going to be traveling around the country, and they're going to be safe. They're going to be, protected. They're going to be tested every day. But I think the realities of this virus mean that we don't know, which teams are going to be most affected by the virus, whose seasons are going to be suspended, whose players are going to suffer the most. I mean, it's really a real roll of the dice for the league, I think, to get this season going in the middle of something like this.
All right, guys, the Lakers roster is near completion, but the biggest chip has yet to fall. Anthony Davis remains unsigned. Multiple media reports have indicated the sides were meeting on Tuesday. AD is entering year 9, coming off a season where he averaged over 26 points, 9 rebounds for the Lakers, on their way to their 17th title in franchise history. Why do you think they're taking their time on this one, Brett?
Yeah, I have a feeling AD, who definitely has plenty of leverage on his side, he's probably talking to the Lakers about the future. You know, what are their plans next summer during the free agency period? How about the year after that? You know, what are you hearing about LeBron? You know, I like playing with him. We had a pretty good run, obviously, this year. What's the future of this franchise? He's still getting to know it. And that sounds weird when you win a championship with a team, but he's only been here a year. So he probably just wants to think about more. Do I like the city of LA? Do I like the future of this franchise? Hey, Kobe Bryant sat down with Jerry Buss tons of times over all the years that Dr. Buss and Kobe were with the Lakers. And Kobe, a lot of times, he fast forwarded. Like, what's next? Who's coming? Who's going? What's the vision? What's your plan for this franchise? And that's kind of what Anthony Davis, that's probably part of his mindset right now. Bill?
Yeah, I think for him, it's like Brez said, really understanding what the next 4 or 5 years for this organization look like and how his contract, you know, is best utilized as a tool for this team. I mean, there's obviously a scenario where he could sign a 1+1 and opt out next summer along with LeBron. But, you know, they still are going to would be really hard pressed to create cap space for like another max player like Giannis, even with LeBron and AD opting out next summer. So it just really comes down to when Anthony Davis wants to hit free agency again to maximize his earning potential and to make sure, I think, like Brett said, I think we all think that he's a long-term piece for the Lakers, but you know, this is one of those rare times in a player's career where you have some leverage and he can dictate some terms, a little bit of how he sees this going also, to make sure that the Lakers are as committed to him as they are asking him to be to them. Now, of course, that's going to be the case. That this is a marriage that both sides very much want to work long term, but you still have the conversation, you still take your time. And as you heard from LeBron in that great conversation with Allie, you know, there's no real rush for their stars. LeBron might not play in preseason games, it sounds like. And for Anthony Davis, you know, he can ease into training camp. He doesn't need to be there on day one, you know, nose to the grindstone like he was maybe last year. You know, they can ease into this season, and with a short off season, a short negotiating period, that also applies to free agency for a star like Anthony Davis.
And Brez, Bill mentioned the 1+1. What kind of contracts can he sign?
He can sign up to 5 years. You know, if you have a player, you can bring him back for 5 years. That's part of the CBA. If you want someone from another team, it's a 4-year max. And here are the numbers. You know, 5 years, 190. That's a lot of money right there. I think he goes 2 years. That's my prediction.